So, you're a senior in high school, that is, and you play ball. Your coach didn't help you out getting an athletic scholarship, and you want to play ball somewhere. Could be a junior college. We all love to go to the big major colleges, but hey, a small college is okay with you, right? Why are you waiting for your coach to write that letter for you? He doesn't have to write the letter for you. You can do it yourself. When I was in high school, I hung around mostly athletes. And that was the big thing, that the coach would write letters for, you know, the superstars, and they were being overlooked. And maybe they were. My thing is, if a coach has 75 guys on the football team, and say 30 of them plan to go to college and want a scholarship, if the coach is going to do anything right, he has the right, I'd say, at least 5 letters for everybody that he wants to help out. And is the coach going to write 5 letters for 30 athletes? Come on, let's be realistic. My math is bad, but I know that's a hell of a lot of letters. So why wait on the coach if you can do it yourself? And for those who have their doubts about it, that's cool. We all have doubts. We hear about recruiting violations and things like that. Contact NCAA, and they'll tell you themselves. You can write colleges. Most of the restrictions are on coaches when it comes to contacting you. The restrictions aren't necessarily on you contacting the colleges or contacting the coaches. You can go to ncaa.org and find more information. But there's other areas where you can find the same information. There's NAIA, that's NJCAA for junior colleges across the country, not California. California is funny because there's junior colleges all over California, but not all of them, none of them are part of the NJCAA. The NJCAA was actually formed in California, but none of the junior colleges are part of it. They have their own group. I can't think of the name right now, but I've included it here so you can find it. Now keep in mind, if you're a senior, you haven't taken SAT, you haven't taken the ACT, and you kind of, you know, you got C average grades, getting a regular NCAA scholarship may not be your best out. I recommend one of the junior colleges. And I mean, there are some junior colleges that are doing something. So it's just a matter of you taking the initiative and seeing what's out there. And it can be done. It's not that hard. Just say you're looking for a college and you don't know where to find the addresses. Duh, it's called the internet. If you're looking for a junior college, basically if you go to the NJCAA website, it has the addresses for all the junior colleges. The same thing for the California version, which should be posted above. And it's that simple. And you don't really have to have the full address of the college. You need the coach's name, which isn't 100% necessary, but you should know the coach's name. And you should state that he's the coach. And the name of the school. You don't really need the address. You need the city, state, and zip. Again, coach's name, coach's title, city, state, zip. That's all you need. You don't have to write much of a letter. I actually recommend postcards. If you can get a postcard with a picture of yourself, and it would be nice if the postcard stated some of your highlights. If you were 20 points a game, that should go on the postcard, if you can do that. Everybody can't, but in the day of computers with desktop publishing and stuff like that, it really shouldn't be all that hard. And you can get your postcards done at Vistaprint, or they can be done at a place like Office Depot for like $25, and you might get either 50 or 100 postcards, which is a steal. They got companies that will charge you $100 to send 10 letters to colleges. So for much less than that, you can send to a hell of a lot more colleges and send to the colleges you want. And if you are eligible to go to a regular NCAA college or NAIA college, well, you have the ability to send to the colleges you want. Now, you're going to have to be realistic. If you're trying to go to a school like Wisconsin or Ohio State, Michigan, USC, UCLA, if you haven't heard from them already, there's probably a good chance you're not going to hear from them. So you have to be realistic in that regard. But there are smaller schools that can use you. If you speak fluent Spanish, you might be able to go to school in Puerto Rico for basketball or whatever. Virgin Islands. It can be done. And there's people in other countries that can do the same thing. If they're skilled in soccer, they can do the same thing. But I'm kind of narrowing this down to people here in the States. But if you're from another country, try what I'm saying. It'll work. However, like I'm trying to say, you have to be realistic. If USC hadn't heard of you, there's a good chance you're not getting a scholarship to USC. But if USC is calling on you, well, and you want to go to a place like Michigan, you have the capability of doing that. It's up to you to send letters to those colleges or postcards, which is cheaper than letters, and the coach could easily pick it up, look and see who you are, and he can look you up from there. Now, my recommendation, even though I know there's nothing wrong with putting your phone number and your at-home address on the postcard or letter, I would say put your name, your high school coach's name, or your junior college coach if you're in junior college, the name of your high school, and the city, state, and zip code of your high school or junior college if it applies. That's really all you need. They can find you. If you have something they want, they can get in touch with you. It's not that hard for them, that is. So just get out there and do it. Don't sit around and wait for some coach to come to you. It may not ever happen, as some of my friends found out. They wanted scholarships and they didn't get them, and they sat around bitter that the coach, high school coach, didn't promote them. Well, stop waiting for the coach to promote you. Promote yourself. You do have the capability. In this age of the internet, there's no excuse for you not being able to do that. Addresses are all over the internet of every school in the country. And there's different types of schools. For example, just say you wanted to play basketball and you didn't really think of yourself as a real academic person. You wanted to get a trade in something. There's a college, I think in Virginia or Maryland, where you can be a Boilermaker. You can be on the basketball team and get an AA or certificate in being a Boilermaker or whatever. It's real technical kind of stuff. And the school, I think, is somewhere near the ocean. So you can do it. I mean, schools sometimes have their own specialties. It's up to you to look that up or find somebody to help you to look it up. It can be done. Okay. I know I'm being a little funny when I showed you that, but it still shows what can be done with a postcard. And the bottom line, it gets you recognized. And that's all you want, is to get yourself recognized. Some coach in another state or somebody who never heard about you can look you up. And from there, they can get in touch with you easily. But sometimes you do have to make the first move. Again, despite what some might tell you, you would not be causing any type of recruiting violation by contacting the schools. They have little problems when they contact you because they have waiting periods and dead periods and stuff like that. You can always contact them. And the thing is to let them know you're out there. There's thousands of colleges out there that don't know you exist. So waiting for somebody else to put you out there, I mean, that's cool if they're going to do it, but if they're not going to do it, you have the capability of doing it yourself. I'm not an athlete, and I know that. So why don't you just do it? Again, I recommend it with postcards, but you can do it with regular letters. You can go to the websites of a number of colleges and apply, or send a note to the coaches. It can be done. Just do it.